What's the best way to train for an endurance event? The mountain behind me is an 8-hour round hike, up and down, obviously very steep because there's snow on the mountain. How do you get fit for that? What if you want to run a marathon, do an Ironman? Better question, what if you want to live your entire life with energy, enthusiasm and excitement? So there's 24 hours in a day, we sleep 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. So the rest of that time, how do you make sure that you've got a stack of energy? Because that is a long period of time to be tired, to not have the energy to do the things that you want to do. So how do you train for that? Better question, how do you get fit and how do you get strong to live your life to the max? It's something I bang on about every day. Is it possible that we've got it all wrong, upside down, inside out? Because if you want to train for a long distance event, most people do long distance training. It sounds common sense, doesn't it? But what if the human body was never designed to do that? If we go back to hunter and gatherer, to gather food, to find food, we walked, and pretty slowly. We wandered around trying to find food. When we did, if it was an animal and it was chasing us, we had to run to get away, or we had to turn and fight to kill it to get food. That was a high intense activity. So the human body was very good at wandering around. Nobody went to the gym, ran on a treadmill, got on a cross trainer, rode their bike for hours and hours. They just walked around slowly. But when the human body needed to do something of effort, of energy, or required 100% effort, the body was ready to go. So what if you're going to run a marathon, climb mountains, live your life with energy, enthusiasm and excitement, the key was to get really fit and really strong at 100% effort. Now, to me, that just makes sense. And it's something that perplexes me regularly because when I started asking questions, anatomy and physiology is very simple if you don't listen to all the rubbish out there. There's a lot of opinions about how to get fit and how to exercise and how to strength train and all of that stuff. But if you go back to the basics of how does the human body work, how do the systems work together to get you fit and get you strong so you can go and do all the things that you want to do? So I'm a long distance lover. I love this mountain behind me, 8-hour hike, excited. 5-hour bike ride, work in the garden for 5, 6, 7 hours a day. Love it, love it, love it. I've run 21 marathons, uncountable number of half marathons. So I love doing long distance stuff because I love being fit and strong enough to do it. But is it possible that if you want to do those things and if you train long distance, so you're constantly pounding your body, constantly putting pressure through your joints, that you end up being tired and wrecked for your event? What if you arrive at every event really fit, really strong and mentally tough so that you can go and do it? And that's one of the questions that I always ask. I've never done an Ironman, but I always ask Iron people, how do you get fit for this event? How much is physical and how much is mental? And they all say exactly the same thing. It's about, depending on the person, 80, 90, 99% mental. Because once you're fit and strong, now you've just got to have the mental toughness to complete the event. Not give up if you feel like it. Now, of course, that comes from discipline. So a lot of people think if I do long distance training, I'll get disciplined to do long distance events. But if you've got a busted, broken body because you've done too much training or you've just done a lot of training, then is it possible that you won't perform at your best and you won't be mentally tough? Because the two power systems for the human body, the endocrine system and the central nervous system, if they're tired, if they've been overtrained, the rest of your body doesn't work properly. But if you put 100% effort and 100% energy into your training, those two systems fire up and they get tougher and stronger so you can then go and do all the things that you want to do. Now, I'm not trying to convince you to do short distance activity or short distance intense training to go and do long events because the rest of the world hasn't caught up with that yet. People who run marathons go and run 20, 30, 40 kilometre every week to try and get fit for a marathon. But when I started really looking into how do I get my fittest and strongest to run marathon, that's when I did my best times, when I felt the best, when I recovered the quickest. And I didn't do any long distance training at all. And I don't to this day do any long distance training at all. I can go climb a mountain for 8 hours easy. I can work in my garden for 8 hours lifting and pushing and carrying easy. I can run long distances with my dogs for 1 or 2 hours easy, but I never train for that. My training is 100% effort to get 100% results. Now, it doesn't matter what I do, of course, but that's how the human body works. We were meant to be fighters and flighters, and then the rest of the time we just walk around slowly. Now, most of the world just walks around slowly, sits on their backside, doesn't do very much. But if you really want to be a fit, strong human being, surely the logical part of your brain says, why would I put in a 50% effort that would only give me a 50% result. Why would if I put in 100% effort, am I more likely to get a 100% result? And if I put in 100% effort, I can't go for a very long time. The fight and flight system, if you understand physiology, it's a simple process. To get away from a wild animal or to turn and kill a wild animal, I have to do it quickly. I don't warm up. I don't get prepared for the event. My body just says, something's trying to kill you, something's stressing you, get the hell out of there or fight and kill it. So when you go really hard and really fast, your body gets ready really quickly. You get fit really quickly because obviously you're overloading at 100% effort. You get strong really quickly because you're overloading at 100% effort. And then you have this amazing body that's the really interesting side note there is when you overcome a threat, when you run away from it or when you kill it, you now have all these amazing chemicals going through your brain. Your hormonal system, your endocrine system says, congratulations, you stayed alive. You should be satisfied with life. So you have even levels of serotonin, the satisfaction neurotransmitter. You feel fantastic because you're filled up with dopamine because that's a reward neurotransmitter. You have painkillers from endorphins, and that helps you train harder and better and faster and harder for the 10 seconds that you're going. And now you've got a body that's ready to live the rest of your life, the other time period of the 24 hours, where you can just live with energy, enthusiasm and excitement for life without having to think, I've got to go to the gym for an hour, I've got to run for an hour, I've got to train really hard. And you can't train hard and long, and that's just the thing that seems to be the missing disconnect. You can't train hard and long. It might feel hard if you go long because it's boring and your joints are hurting and you wish it was over. But if you really want to train at 100% effort, your body can only do that for 10 seconds at a time. Now, you can do it for 10 seconds, get your breath back and go again, and that time frame, depending on how fit you are and for everything to recover, might be 1 or 2 minutes. But if you did that for an hour, so you got really puffed, had a rest, wait till you got your breath back and went again, that's a whole different story than plod jogging, long, slow endurance training that just puts pounding through your joints. And I have to pay for that now. I'm an old lady who did lots and lots of long distance training, lots and lots of marathons, and screwed up my joints, screwed up my body, and wish I never did that. Now, I can't change it, but I'm not going to keep doing it, because if you keep doing the same thing over and over and expect a different result, you're a lunatic, of course. So if you want to get really fit and really strong, is it possible that 100% effort is going to be much better than even a 99% effort? And if you put in 100% effort, you can't go for very long. So the mountain behind me, full of snow and looks amazing. It's an 8-hour round trip. That's an endurance event. It's hard climbing. It's pushing your body to the limit. But to get fit to do that, I'm not going to go do long, slow climbs. I'm going to get really fit and really strong so that I can go and live my life to the max, doing the things that I love to do as a fit, strong, healthy, mentally tough human being. Live your life to the max and do it fast. Woohoo!